Alright guys, just a quick one, is that it's my birthday coming up. Now my birthday coming up 11th of August. Now, but my true birthday, I was actually born on Av 14th on the Hebrew godly calendar, you could say. So the 14th day of Av, which is the full moon. All right, there's always the full moon. So the Hebrew months. The first day of the month is the new moon, and the 14th day of the month is the full moon. So I look back when I was doing my research years and years ago, and I thought, what about my birthday? When does it fall on? I was also doing some researching because the biggest the biggest earthquake that we had here in North Wales, which was on the ridge of the Snowdonia Mountain range, Snowdonia Mountain, which is volcanic. Volcano, and so too the Conway Mountain is said to be volcanic as well. So on the edges of this volcanic area of North Wales, there was the biggest earthquake that ever was being. It's something like it was on land or on offshore or something like that, but it still remains the biggest earthquake that we've had, especially Wales. I think it might actually still be the UK's biggest earthquake, whichever it is, onshore, offshore, whatever. So then I thought, well, when was I actually born? And then I noticed something. It was full moon. I was like, wow. And like I said, this would have been in my early days, so I wouldn't have actually really, I didn't actually study the Hebraic, the godly calendar that they used to use before, because this calendar we use now, the Gregorian calendar, has only been implemented for a few hundred years. So I looked when my birthday was, and it was like a full moon. I was like, whoa, because like a sign in the heavens, a full moon, which usually indicates a bad thing. So I joked to my mum. I say, yeah, I was born on a full moon, which means a warning, bad things are to come. But anyway, so the 14th of Av is the 14th of Av is that full moon. But interestingly, another thing, it happens on it happens. I was born, on a Saturday. So it is Saturday, August 11th, Av 14th, and it is a full moon. So it was a Sabbath day and it was a full moon. Now this year coming up anyway is going to be the same. Obviously our 14th, full moon, it never changes. Full moon, 14th day, new moon, first day of the month. But it's going to fall on Sabbath day again, all right? So it's going to fall on the Saturday again, and do you know what, I hope I'm right. I believe it's the 9th, isn't it, or the 8th, I'm not quite sure, 8th or the 9th. So in fact it's this Saturday coming up, Right, we're on Wednesday now, so this full moon and this Saturday is exactly like the day I was born. And amazingly enough, so that was the first, that was my creation. I was created, I was brought into the world on a Sabbath day on the 14th of Av, which would turn out to be on the Gregorian calendar the 11th of August. Like this year, which by the way is like this, when I might say in a title, I'm not quite sure, but if I'm going to do this or not, but if I say this is my last birthday, what I mean by that is my last birthday before the first passing of the throne. Which means like 94%, well, not about 90% of the population of the earth that can hear this video or whatever, or have the opportunity to, this is maybe their last birthday they're going to see of mine. Whether they're caught up into the heavens with a great multitude at the first passing of the throne in 21 weeks from and 3 days from now. Then they won't be able to celebrate a birthday with me until 7 years have passed. You know, if they do not repent of their sins and they're caught up in the destruction and they die as sinners and unforgiven sinners, then well, it'll be 1,007 years and so many months, until 20 weeks, until I even see them again. So this is like my last video before the world is turned upside down, before extinction level event. This is my last birthday as the status quo as the earth being as it is now, if that makes sense. So if I ever say, well, I probably will now actually, that this is my last birthday, I mean this is my last birthday with everything still facing upwards, you know, and the ravens just come down for the bread. So yeah, this is like my last birthday, and funnily enough, it falls on a Sabbath day, exactly like the day I was created, brought into the earth. Well, now, this Saturday, this Sabbath day, full moon, will be my birthday as well, and that will be the 14th of Av. And like I say, I believe it falls on, I think it's the... well, I'll put it this way, the 3rd was last Sunday. So I'm guessing the 10th will be Sunday, so the 9th will be Sabbath day. So it'll fall this year on August the 9th. So my birthday isn't until August the 11th, which, yeah, it's Monday. So here's another... not amazing thing, but here's another thing that I noticed with the heavens, and that is 2 planets conjoin on my Roman birthday. 2 planets are Jupiter and Venus. Now we know from my teachings, my revelations over the last 2 years or less, that Venus is the planet of war. So we have war Venus, and then we have Jupiter, which represents the king. So I guess you could say, what does these represent? You could just say in plain thing, war and king, or king and war. Now, these come together, and I was thinking, I wonder what constellation they'll be in. And then it hit me, well, look back to what you're expecting, your teachings, and where will Jupiter the king be? Jupiter the king will be in Gemini right now, because the loop of Gemini of Jupiter in Gemini, the king in the clone, or the king clone, whatever we want to interpret it as. Well, Jupiter enters Gemini in November. What is it, just before that COP meeting? It's like the 9th, 10th November. That's when the loop starts, and then through to March. So this period of between November and March, November coming up and March of 2026, we have the king clone. Which, like I've said in my previous videos and according to my timeline, would be a seal number 1 when the clone of Jesus Christ, king, comes as king. All right, so that's how I know exactly where this would be, is because Jupiter will be in Gemini for, let's say, just seal 1 happening towards in like a couple of months time even now. So this is what the constellation where it's going to happen. It's going to happen in Gemini. So the 2 planets come together, Jupiter and Venus, war and king. But did they actually mean anything? I wouldn't really put any weight on it. It's more when the loop happens with a planet that you want to watch out for. When a loop happens in Vesta, I watch out and see things happen in my life. When Jupiter will be looping is in that time of November to March, is when everything concerning the Antichrist is going to happen, in my view. Like, he comes as a king, seal 1. So the loop is where it happens. I mean, this conjunction of planets will happen every year Venus is following the sun as the sun goes around the earth. All right, now but Jupiter has a much slower orbit around the sun. It does orbit the sun because it has its own loops as well every year, and that is when it's kicking back with the sun. Yeah, so this conjunction happens every year. So I mean, am I making some sort of prophecy about a war and a king? Well, no, not really, because like I say, it happens every year. But I'm just saying how it's quite profound that it happens on the very day, August the 11th, on the Roman calendar, which it happens. So I thought that quite profound and quite whoa, you know, one of them whoa moments. So and like God looks at, it's almost amazing. It's like God's lunar calendar is where all his feasts and Sabbaths and everything comes from. But then it's the Roman calendar, he has that in check as well, if that makes sense. Like things fall on the Roman calendar, like the sign of Vesta and Ceres. That was the Roman calendar birthday, which Vesta was born through the Virgin, the constellation line. On my birthday, and then Ceres came and was born through the Virgin on his birthday, Jason's birthday, on August the 19th. Same year, 1984. So God can go by the Roman calendar as well as his own. So yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video concerning this. It's not prophetic about the lining up of the planets, but it is quite amazing that I was brought into the world. I was created and brought into the world on the Sabbath, full moon, our 14th, and then this year, last year, before the first passing of the throne extinction level event happens, August the 9th, then it's going to be the same thing on the Sabbath day, full moon, our 14th is when my last birthday, so my first birthday kind of thing was when I was brought into the earth, and then my last birthday, which 90% of the people are going to be able to share with me, if you like, even forever, is going to be happening on the same day, the Sabbath day. I still have a couple of videos and articles and images backed up, but really my spirit was not really feeling it to get them done, so I'm just kind of going with the flow and trying not to push things too much, because that's when it's just not passionate. And I don't know, maybe you can get that I've got a bit of passion about this. So, you know, I was thinking just take my time and just talk about what needs to talk about. And so yeah, we've just had a storm come through the other day, Floris, wind, rain, and then it's passed out again, and it's only today that we've started to feel a bit of sun and a bit of warmth again. So yeah, God bless you all anyway. I've been Pastor Prophet Justin Roberts from End of the Age Bible Prophecy. God bless you all in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.